Good evening, gentlemen, and any ladies that happen to be out there. It's 10 o'clock. It's September the 29th. It's England. Well, that's where I am right now. I think a lot of us will be looking forward to our travels this winter. The dark nights are here. Let me just have a little look at the chat. Leeds, good evening. Gatecrasher, good evening. Sean, Glenn Weldon, Alf Garnett's here. I'm not politically correct in this day and age, unfortunately. Tony Edwards, that's Sam again. Yeah, okay. Bintman. Yeah, okay. Bintman. Okay. We got a little bit of a question. I'll explain in a minute. Bintman 1. I had hope all is well. Not long being back from a month in Thailand. Missing it already with all the crap going on in the UK right now. Well, maybe you can tell us what Thailand's all about these days, because I think we need to talk about that. World Traveller Forever. Hello, Brian Bevers. Yoz Travels is here. Good evening. I should say that on the other channel, Steady Eddie Live, which which obviously a much smaller channel than this, but we have such a great community. The same names all the time, and it's a lot of the same names. Others are welcome. I mean, Yogi Bear, McLaren F1, Alistair Taylor, Capo 17. So many familiar names, and we do the big question there Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays at 10 o'clock, and it's such a great little discussion. Not necessarily travel related. In fact, we talk about other things. But on this channel, it's mainly about travel. I'll explain something in a minute that's quite important. Yoz Travels, good evening. Rookie DIY, Sean, Chaz Brown, Yogi Bear, McLaren F1 race. That's Clive. Yeah, I'm drunk again. Oh, good for you, mate, anyway. As long as you're not driving. Alistair Taylor, good evening. Capo 17. Dan Trevolaki, good evening. Evening, Eddie. Hope you're well, mate. Well, I mean, at the risk of boring everyone, I mean, the others, there's 3 live streams a week on the other channel. There's only one on this one, but I'm doing well. For those who are not aware, I'm doing well on the old exercise bike. I mean, the belly is still a bit stubborn, but I've been doing plenty of exercise, and I'm confident by the time I arrive in Bangkok in about early November, you'll see a slimmer, leaner Eddie. Those girls are going to go wild. They're going to think that I'm Eddie's younger, slimmer brother when I get out there. Postpone my. Let's see. Glenn Wyndham, postpone my trip to Thailand next week. Too much rain. Well, I believe, this is the wet season there. And September and maybe October, you can get hammering down rain. But that's something you can never predict. You never know if you postpone it for next week. It might turn out gloriously sunny out there. You just don't know. You just don't know. I mean, the weather is far more reliable in, from December, January, February, March. It's far more reliable then in that part of the world. You're very unlikely to get too much rain then. But I mean, here it's a matter of luck. It's a matter of luck. Jack Fox, even instead with the pound crash, how much do you think it'll be for the naughty massage now? They don't charge you in pounds; they charge you in Thai baht. Remember, so whatever the baht will be, que sera, whatever the baht will be. Okay, Mister. Okay, Mr. is here. Rant and Rave, good evening. Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear's here. Nice to hear from you, Yogi Bear. Super nice. Alistair Taylor. The good intro's back. The good intro's back. No, that intro's never been away from this channel, the one I just played. Can I just explain this? I had another intro for the other channel, the Steady Eddie Live channel. But what happened, I was trying to edit the video on my editing system, and it said, basically your hard drive is too full. There's no room. There's no space there. So I had to go on a hard drive of this laptop because there's tons of, God knows how many hours of videos on there. And I had to delete an awful lot of stuff, which I felt was clogging it up. And one of the things I accidentally deleted was the other live stream. Sorry, not the live stream, the intro for the other live channel. So I've only got one intro now. I am Tilt. Nice to hear from you, I am Tilt. Mazza, hey Eddie, I saw some of those dingy people taking photos of themselves in the middle of a roundabout near my work. Crazy bastards. Well, maybe they're members of the National UK Roundabout Appreciation Society. There is actually such a thing that exists. People who worship roundabouts. Takes all kinds to make a world. Even Stuart Marsden, even Eddie, just back from the Dominican Republic. Luckily, just missed Hurricane Fiona. I thought it was Hurricane Ian. What a lovely island that took place. What a lovely island that place is. Oh, good for you, anyway. Good for you. Hope you had a wonderful time there. Dutch Farang, nice to hear from you. Mark Wright, what's the chat tonight? We've got a few little travel things to discuss, travel-related stuff. Capo 17, Tony Edwards, Martin Blunsden. Good evening, and the pound rally today. Martin Blunsden, good evening, and the chat. Good evening, Eddie, in chat. The pound rally today, thanks to the good old Bank of England. Now, the thing is, I can't really get my head around this one. The pound is about 1.11 US dollars to a pound, and they're saying that it's rallied again. No, it isn't. It's still weak as hell. I mean, the pound is weak in comparison with the dollar. But that's because the dollar is exceptionally strong. I mean, last time I looked, there's about 40 Thai baht to a pound. And it's not really, but the pound is not particularly bad against the Thai baht or the euro at this moment in time. It's because the dollar is exceptionally strong. But we'll ask a question about that in a minute. Will Barnes, nice to hear from you. Paul Harrison, Pinball. Chris Walsh, good evening. Life Utopia, Ross, Redmondo 777, Rookie DIY. Yours travels. Eddie, trying to get 1 hour behind in the chat tonight. Just keep skipping to the front. Well, I like to read out as many of the comments as I possibly can. I know I'll get a bit behind, but I'll try and make the effort anyway. Ivan is here, Neil Fleet, Christopher Port, Simon and Siam. Everything explored. Pork pie, everything explored. Pork pie and lamb's navy. I'm on a diet, mate, so 1 out of 2 isn't bad. Okay. Bottle baby, El Terrifico is here. David Coleman, I just got in the door. Are we talking travel today? Yeah, there's things about travel. We'll start that in a minute. We're nearly 10 minutes into the chat now. And Scaffolder John. Okay, Ross Cook. John Mitch is here. Nice to hear from you, John. Good news, Ed. The pound has recovered from below 40 baht to over 42 baht. Rumpy bumpy, not going to be so expensive. Well, I mean, it's still weak, isn't it? The thing about the Thai baht is that it does actually remain one of the less volatile currencies, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't really. It's the pound that moves. The Thai baht doesn't move, not really that much. I know it got to 37 Thai baht to a pound a few years ago, but it was 40 yesterday. It might be 40 today. It's going to be something like that anyway, isn't it? So at least the pound isn't a currency that goes massively, moves massively all at once. At least you kind of know where you are with it. Yeah, super nice to have. But Ross is here. That's a conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy theory. Can't really do that. Although maybe on the other channel. Kevin Lyons, good evening. Any travel change to report? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. We'll have a little bit of a chat about that. Any travel changes to report? I mean, there's no travel changes on my part. I mean, I've got my flight booked for early November, a 4-month return ticket to Bangkok. I've booked the first 8 weeks hotels, which will take me into the new year. So the only thing I haven't booked is the other is the January, February hotels. So there's no change on my part. Good to say. Anyway, I don't like delays and having to change it. Popcorn. Good evening, Ed. Is that a kimono you're wearing tonight? No, it's a it's it's a hoodie. It's a hoodie. I actually bought this in Second Road Battalion about 7 years ago, something like that. I've hardly ever worn it because it's always raining here, so I don't wear it outdoors here. I don't. And abroad, this is too hot to wear in Thailand, so I don't really know why I bought it, but it's comfortable anyway. Yogi Bear, yes, but if you need to ask someone on the chat, many will try to help you. Let me just say, there's the chat the other night. There's a couple of videos that I'm having planned, and one of them was basically based on the chat the other night because somebody on the chat asked a question about transferring currency, and the guys in the chat were just so helpful. They gave loads of different, advice on how to transfer currency from England to Thailand. Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll gather all the information together and make a little old video about it pretty soon anyway. But that's what a good community we've got on both of these channels. The guys are such a great bunch of you guys are so great. You're always helpful to people. And you notice we've weeded out a lot of the trolls. We don't hardly get any. Other people can have the trolls, not me. Ricardo, good evening. Let me see now, Ricardo. Now, yesterday I asked a question on the other channel. Done a post on the other channel. Would anyone like to ask any question that we can discuss on it? Now, the other channel is not travel related, so we talk about a variety of things, all kinds of things. We talk about political stuff. Did the moon landing really happen? We talk about all kinds of other stuff on the other channel. And some people replied saying, you can ask this question and that. Ricardo, I can't remember what his question was, but I don't think that was one of the travel related ones. But what we'll do, there's a couple of questions that people did mention that I want to ask tonight, simply because they're other people's questions and they're bloody good that we're talking about. So anyway, Alf Garnett, I'd love to travel to Thailand. Hopefully in a couple of years' time. I think I'll need about 5,000 for 4 weeks. $5 grand for 4 weeks? No, unless the pound really goes down the toilet. £5,000. No, £5,000 would last you more than 4 weeks. Definitely, you're gonna have a lot of fun on 5 grand. David Coleman, I almost booked my 2 weeks in Havana. 5-star hotel, pool on the roof, guest friendly. David Coleman loves Cuba, and who can blame him? He's Canadian. He goes to Cuba. It's a very convenient flight. He knows the place well. He knows the women well. Absolutely. Good for him, mate. Good for him. It's a constructive comment here. I don't quite know who it's aimed at. From Mark Wright. Okay, thanks for that. I don't know who that's saying, or whether it's me or someone else. Oh, Gaz is here. Gaz is here. Gaz is here. Gaz 77. Hi, Eddie. Hope you're well. I'm sat in Portugal with loads of money. I mean, Gaz has got loads of money, you see, because what it is, he goes into Asda. He gets loads of items in his trolley and then runs off without paying. He fills his car up. And then he drives off without paying, and he also wears a dress, and so no one will recognize him. That's how he's in Portugal now. He's got loads of money. One of these days, the busies are going to come knocking on my door saying, "Look, Ed, do you know this guy? Because he's not a joke. He really does rob these people blind." Anyway, nice to hear from you guys. Matthew Cartwright, good evening. Mark Ollig, great to hear from you, Mark. Good evening, Eddie, and to those participating in the chat. Mark Ollig, is a Facebook friend, and he writes some wonderful columns about telecommunications, all fascinating stuff. Anyway, he's got a new profile pic, Stan Laurel. So good for him. Nice to hear from you, Mark. Great to hear from you. Let's see. Bintman. Spent 3 weeks in Thailand and a few days in Udon fishing. To be honest, it was just the same as when I went before all the lockdowns. No airport problems or silly tests. Oh, Christ, I know what you mean. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, well, early this year, it wasn't that long ago, we had to go through all that degrading, dreadful bloody shoving plastic straws up your nose and all of this kind of rubbish, and then taking these PCR tests and worrying about whether you're going to be bunged in a quarantine hotel. That was truly dreadful. Let's just hope that that's all a thing of the past. It's all a thing of the past now. We don't any more of that. S Travels 4K. Good evening, Ed and everyone. Finally back to the UK after 4 months traveling in Spain. S Travels 4K makes some brilliant videos. He walks around Mallorca and other parts of Spain, and back in Manchester and other places. Fantastic filming. If you like walking videos, top quality stuff, check out S Travels 4K. He's got a great channel, and well, he's been in Spain for 4 months, so can't complain about that, can you? Nice to hear from you, mate. Andrew Hammond, evening, Eddie. This time next week, I'll be wandering down Soy Honey in the heavy rain looking for a right dirty massage and be pampered. Good for you, mate. See, the guy before said, he's worried about the rain. I mean, I've actually done that. I've wandered through, Pattaya in the soaking rain, with the water, the muddy water up to my knees. But then, you go and have a nice rub down and a hot shower and with one of those lovely massage girls, and life isn't all bad. It's not all bad. Let's see. AJ, hello, Ed. What a shower of government ministers. Worst ever. I'm 60. They've only been in 5 minutes. I mean, people are saying that the worst ever. I'm 64. So go back to a bit of. So go back a bit. Growing up, I thought all the others were bad, but this lot, God help us. Well, we're not going to talk about politics right now. I mean, it's such early day, but they've got off to a bit of a disastrous start, haven't they? Liz and whatever his name, I can't pronounce. I'm sorry, but I just can't pronounce his name. Simple as that, really. I mean, somebody in the Labour Party said that these pair, the Prime Minister and the Chancellor, they're like a couple of gambling addicts in a casino. The difference is that they're not gambling with their own money; they're gambling with yours. You know what I mean? Well, that was irrelevant. I could have bloody told them. It's blindingly obvious what they're doing. You never know if the gamble pays off. They'll be hailed as heroes. You just never know. I just think, I don't know. I've never ever known a time when there's so much mediocrity in politics. Never. Glenn Wyndham, keto diet, Eddie, it works fast. I can't. Can I still drink beer on that one? I doubt it. Okay. Jeff, David R, nice to hear from you. Well, what can I say? David R has been on this program, this show, quite a bit, a number of times. He wears some great hats. He's off to Thailand in a few days' time, and he's looking forward to it. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I mean, first of all, he's got a. Well, I won't tell you where he's going tomorrow. He's got a bit of an unpleasant medical thing to go to tomorrow. So I won't tell you about that. But anyway, David, good luck to you. And you never know, we may even meet each other out there. I've still got about another 6 weeks to go before I head that way. Jeff Newman, it is a bit of positivity. Jeff Newman, wankered home alone in Pattaya, but a great night. I had 2 girls in the bar comparing their nipples. Great fun. Is that all? I mean, is that about how far you got? Is it? I mean, it doesn't sound that spectacular. Good for you anyway, mate. Ryan Denver. Hi, Eddie. I will be in Phuket on the 11th of December, staying in Thailand for 6 weeks. Flight set me back 1,200 quid with Emirates. So that you flew directly to via wherever Emirates go. Where does Emirates go? Does that go to Dubai? Does it? I was on Emirates early this year. You go to Phuket, 1,200 quid return. It's a lot of money. It's a lot more than I paid when I went to Bangkok early this year. But anyway, good for you anyway. David Merchant, good evening. David Mayer, that is a great shirt. That is a great shirt. This is This is a sort of, well, it's a hoodie kimono sort of thing. This is from my visit to Colombia. Amazing how bloody old some of these T-shirts are. And amazingly, they still fit me. Amazingly, even though I put on all this weight. Mr. Donald Trump, nice to hear from you, mate. Yeah, Gaz, confession. Yeah, confession time now from Gaz. Gaz, Ian UK, hi fella. I went to Asda the other day, and on the same day I won loads of money, so I'm now in Portugal. He's a jammy bastard as well, isn't he? Singapore Dan. David, oh, it's all coming out now. David, our countdown till first massage next week. You forgot the dirty bit, dirty massage. You forgot that bit. The Stay and Was show. Good evening, Eddie. You know, I've just back in from Soy Pothole. Some great bars and great beds there now. Soy Pothole, that's Soy Chiapin. That place is really, really looking up. The last time I seen it, that is it. Even because things weren't what they should have been early this year in Pattaya, but Soy Pothole, Soy Chiapin. That street really, really has come alive. There's tons of life there, and it's probably even more so now. You know, it's tons of life in that place. Some great bars, coming up. And I mean, the High Rollers. I done a video on it. That place is that's really quite spectacular. When you first walk in there, I first walked into that place. It just looked like it was entering one of those, going up the staircase, entering one of those grand nightclub scenes out of Scarface or Carlito's Way or something like that. Soy Pothole's bloody good. S Travels 4K, just for Ibiza, Barcelona, Mallorca. He's done some great videos, S Travels 4K. Go check him out. Really great. I love watching him. I put him on the big TV, and great stuff to watch. Alf Garnett, a question for everyone. How long would you suggest for first time in Thailand? 1 month or 2 months? A first time, I mean, I would have thought 1 month would be enough, really. I mean, you could go there for 2 months, but maybe a bit much to say. I mean, if it's your first time, you want to get a taste of the place. I mean, maybe not everybody loves Thailand. Maybe not everybody. Maybe to commit yourself to 2 months might be too much. So, a month. Go there for a month. You can see a few places there. Bintman. Travel went smoothly and no silly test to go to. Pattaya was very much the same as when I went before all these lockdowns. I didn't bother much with walking street, as that has suffered. Okay, well, I mean, the report says that Thailand's, Pattaya and place like that are very, very quiet right now. Very quiet right now. But it's still low season and it's rainy season. I think really it'll be December when things will really, really pick up. That's when the peak season will really kick in. November, I'm going in November. November, I think that'll be a little bit of a quiet month. I think it'll be like the calm before the storm. But I still get the feeling it will be a good season. We're going to ask a question in a minute anyway to get us talking. Sure, what are you eating later? I had a big shop from Asda, so there's tons of grub in there. I haven't decided yet. Mark Wright paid £1,200 last month, so I think that's what we're all looking at to fly last month. Well, I've got a return flight from Bangkok to from London to Bangkok, and a direct flight, and that cost me £770, and that includes the insurance if it cancels and all of that. And I thought that was bloody good. But then others are paying a lot more for that. Donald Trump. How's the bars in Cambodia capital there? Have you heard? To be honest with you, I only just realised I looked at a couple of my old videos from Cambodia. It's actually almost 4 years since I was in Cambodia. Almost 4 years now. So it'll be nice today. But I do hear that I did see a video. Somebody done a video going down the red light areas, and he done it in a very, very rude way, a way that I'm not going to be doing it. He pointed his camera right at the girls in the bars in 136 and 104 and 130 streets, and they were very, very offended by that. I think those days are gone. I mean, I think we're all wise now. I don't think it's wise to go pointing your camera at girls. He was pointing a camera and saying, how much do you charge? And all this. I think those days are, maybe in the olden days of YouTube, you could have got away with that, but they're all wise to YouTube now. And the bars certainly look lively. Anyway, they look lively. But I heard that it's pretty good. Well, I'll find out this winter time. Silent Dip, hi Eddie. I got a £20 tip today. I think the money's starting to trickle down already. That's a dreadful phrase, that isn't it? Trickle down economics. Make the wealthy even wealthier, and the money will trickle down to the poorer in society. I think trickle down is another way of saying diarrhea. That's the way it seems to me, anyway. Martin Blunsden, right now, Ed, the pound is trading about 42 bars. Well, that's not bad. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it's like I said at the moment. The baht does remain fairly stable. There's not much in it. It doesn't go massively up and down. It just goes a few bars either way. I think we'll be all right, unless the pound really, really does nosedive, and it can happen. It can happen. Yours travels 43 baht to the pound today on the Revolut card. Exchange £1,000 just in case it drops before the trip. Still taking mostly cash though. Well, 43 baht, that's better than what I've seen on the exchange rate. Every day I just glance at the exchange rate on Google, and 43 baht. Well, that sounds a bit better. This is good for you. That's the Revolut card. Okay, we'll try and I'll try and make a video, and we'll mention all of these things anyway, because people need to know about it. Let's see, David except when it dropped 50% back in '97. Well, that was before my time. McLaren F1 race. I'm only just commenting. The wasn't me earlier. Okay, all right. Do we have to maybe fakes in the chat? Yeah, let's see. 90 minutes on the exercise bike. How many minutes have you done today, Ed? I actually done more than 90 minutes. And then I went for a nice speed walk up a country lane and back to a little nearby village. So yeah, I've been good. I'm losing the weight. I've got my enthusiasm back for exercise, and I'm going to be exercising every day right up to the time that I go abroad. And when I go abroad, I'll if I've lost the weight that I'm hoping to lose, then the aim will be not to put it back on again. So thanks for asking anyway. Phil Bog, hi Eddie, could you recommend a hotel in Pattaya for the first timer where the nightlife is pretty good? Well, there are videos on my list of that, but I think somewhere like the Arika Lodge in Soy Diana, I did a video of that earlier this year. If you actually look down the videos in this channel, you will see the Arika Lodge, and that is a bloody good hotel. It's close to the Soy Bacau. It's a good central location. Arika Lodge, that's a good one to aim for. Really, really good there. Bintman, I rebooked for Pattaya again and got a flight with Eva Air for 646, flying out beginning of June 2023. I checked for flights March 23, and they were coming up close at £1,000. Jesus Christ. You just never know, do you? You just never know. I mean, the thinking is book early to get the good deals, but I book reasonably early, and then I checked my flight a couple of months later and found out that flight's actually gone down in price. I would have saved. So, but that's good for you anyway, mate. Barry from EastEnders, California on Saturday. At least the exchange rate will be easy to work out. Yeah, it's basically it's not far off £1 to $1, isn't it? Bottle Baby going to Vietnam and Hanoi. Well, I don't know. Well, if it's talking about me or you, I done a fair bit of Vietnam on my last main tour around there, so I think it'll be other places. Let's see. Well, 32. Eddie, we might be on the same flight. It's possible. It's happened before. Asian Paradise. Unfortunately, all my conspiracy theories are coming true. We talk about a fair few conspiracy theories on the other channel, and some of them, like the other night, we talked about the WEF, the Great Reset, and it was a good, interesting discussion. We talk about some of this kind of stuff on the other channel. That's the Steady Eddie Live channel, Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays at 10 p.m. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. Oh, me missus is here. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. Gaz currently en route through my back. You dirty bitch. Okay. Paul UK, how's it going, mate? I met Paul. Hi, mate. Booked my condo in John TM today. 2-bed with sea view, gym and swimming pool. 350 quid for December. Fantastic. Well, that sounds bloody good. What's that? That's it. What is it? What is that? It's about £12 a night, something like that. That's brilliant. Okay, good for you anyway, mate. You never know, might even see it out there. Cheers. Let me see. Let me see now. Okay. Richard Palawak, nice to hear from you, mate. Good evening. Watching from Bahrain tonight. Have a nice cold pint of beer and fridge of cider and beer. Domino's on the way. That's a bit. You're in Bahrain. It's beer and cider and Domino's pizza. That sounds bloody good. I accidentally landed in Bahrain a few years ago because the flight to Bangkok was delayed, and it was there for a good number of hours and put up in a hotel somewhere, and and I said to porter, I said, "Is there any chance of getting any beers?" And I tried to say, get out of him, how much is it going to cost me for a couple of beers? And he wouldn't tell me. So I said, listen, if you're going to get a couple of beers, don't open them. Tell me the price first, because I don't buy anything unless I know the price. And I think it turned out, for 2 beers, it was about 20 quid. I thought, no thanks, mate. No thanks. You can forget that. Even I'm not that bad. Let's see. Let's see. Gregory just put Putin. Do you talk about Biden trying to talk? No, we haven't actually reached that conversation yet. David Kanan. Hey, how long will you stay in Bangkok for? About 6 nights. Now, Bangkok is generally very expensive, especially compared to Pattaya. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, I've got a reasonably priced hotel there. Looks like a nice hotel. And if you go in like Soi Pho, Nana area and Soi Cowboy, you will be paying a high price for beer and food and all of that kind of stuff. But if you stayed in Bangkok all the time and stayed in the tourist area, then it would be expensive. But it doesn't have to be. You can always have your main meals in cheaper areas. But I'll be there for about 6 nights. Can't wait. Jeanette Hood, nice to hear from you, Jeanette. Nice to hear from you. Okay, I believe you're in the Philippines. Arthur Lobong, Jesus, we're international today. It's been paying down in Rio the last few days, and no letter for the next few at least. Anyway, off to Thailand a few days after I get back in 3 weeks, just over better weather. Well, I mean, this is like in Rio right now. I was in Rio around about this time of year many years ago, and yet the weather was a bit iffy. Rio, in some ways, it's similar to Thailand, that you get the best weather in months like December, January, February, March. So anyway, well, good for you anyway, mate. Let's see. The other channel, the other channel, the link is on the homepage of this one. If you go to my other channels, you will see press the link there for the the Steady Eddie Live channel. David Coleman, they're having running blackouts in Cuba, no power. So I did not book my flight. Well, in some countries, you know, power cuts are just, you know, part and parcel of it. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, Gaz, yeah, Gaz 7777. I didn't pay for my flight to Portugal. What I did was nick some homeless guy's money that he had, and then I went to the airport and booked a flight to Portugal for 37 quid. And he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. You know, you think he's joking. Mark Wright, this is good to hear. Eddie, it's so easy now. Now, no empty cards or nothing. It took me 20 minutes to get through the airport. Oh, well, that's good to hear. Okay. Stephen Tutty. Good evening, Eddie. Always entertaining and listening to your chat. I really envy you being able to travel to Thailand for 4 months. That sounds really, really good to me. Well, yeah, but you want to see the rest of my life. That's crap. Okay. The rest of my life is spent trying to lose weight. Okay. So let me see. I'm gonna ask a question now. But there's some interesting stuff going on in the chat here. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white. Do you prefer Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England? Do you prefer Thailand or Cambodia? I often ask myself the same question. Both have their pros and cons. It's a similar question to one I always ask myself. Do I prefer it up the muff or up the chuff? Well, with regards to your first question, Thailand or Cambodia, they're both great. They're both absolutely wonderful. Couldn't you know? Thailand's got a lot more to offer, but Cambodia's, you know, it's got the people there are wonderful in Cambodia. So I hope you're chuffed with that answer. Okay. Bintman 1, good hotel plug for Pattaya. I stayed at the P Plus Hotel in Soi Buakhao, and it cost me 600 baht per night. That's cheap. Lovely clean room, full gym facilities and swimming pool. Great location. Worth a look, guys. Absolutely. The P Plus Hotel in Soi Buakhao. Can't place where that one is, but it sounds bloody good. The good thing about staying in Soi Buakhao is that it's you know, you wake up, even if you crash out in the evening, wake up at 11 o'clock at night, you can still go out and have a bloody good night out. I mean, under normal circumstances. I mean, it wasn't normal circumstances early this year. I believe, am I hearing rumors or something that a lot of the bars in that area are being told to close early for some reason? That's escaped me, but I think they're going back to normal pretty soon. I'm hearing something like that. Paul Harrison, I'll be in Thailand on 8th of January for 3 weeks. This visit I'm taking in Bangkok, Samui and Pattaya. Sounds bloody good, mate. Sounds bloody good. Good for you, mate. Good for you. So let me see. Yeah, Barry from EastEnders, you look like a Colombian drug lord in that t-shirt. Only when I smoke a cigar. Oh, my God almighty. Let me see. Okay, for Manchester. Always fly with them, and it's okay. Let's see. Arthur Lobban, great to see the pound recover from last week. See? Is the pound recovered from anything? Great to see the pound recover from last week's losses. The jealous, bitter lefties will be hating it. Has the pound recovered? Doesn't bloody look like it to me. From the pound has gone from last week's disastrous to being total crap. From being disastrous to going to total crap. I mean, that doesn't sound like a recovery to me. Callio, were your flights expensive? No, 770 quid return. I'd say that's bloody good. Okay, so let me see now. Yoz Travels is here. He was on the other channel. We were talking to Yoz Travels. He loves cruise ships. It's his first trip to Thailand and doing 6 weeks Thailand and 1 week in Singapore. He's had a pretty amazing year, Yoz. He's been on cruises. He's going to Thailand for 6 weeks in Singapore. Good for him. Good for him. Daniel Mills, November is a good time to go. December and January is far too busy. Yeah. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. Let me see. Yeah, I can put this comment on the screen. Oh, okay. Yeah, join the club, mate. Yours Travels, 1,200 quid return is very expensive. Still get deals at 650 to 7. But yeah, well, that's what I was happy with my price, the price that I paid with a very reputable airline. I was happy. So, but other people, say the flights are ridiculously expensive. David Coleman, Paul, I saw many nice condos to rent online and jump GM. That's the way to do it. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll skip. David, good to be flying the same airline I evacuated Thailand back in March 2020. Well, it's Jesus, David, the days, weren't they? Mike from Wales, yeah, let's hope the Bart stays. As they say, I think it depends. The pound is very, very volatile. Our own currency is very, very volatile right now. I think the baht will be fairly stable. I think the euro will probably be very, very stable. The US dollar seems to be very, very strong. It's our currency I would worry about. I mean, will that pound nosedive? I mean, right now it's very volatile. It just got worse and worse and worse. And then in the last day or so, it's clawed back a couple of mediocre little points. It's still dreadful. The pound, anything could happen to the pound. Let's see. Let me see now. Okay. Ivan, Eddie, will you be flying to Cambodia or doing a bus trip over the border? Probably a bus trip, because I find from Pattaya to Siam Reap is really a doddle. I've done that many, many times. I mean, they closed the borders, didn't they? For a long time during the pandemic. But as far as I know, they're open again. And as far as I know, they're open again. And a lot of people will think, to do 9 hours by road is dreadful, laborious. But it's not that bad. I've done far worse than that. And it's not as if it doesn't stop. I mean, it stops every now and again, so you can have a coffee or a beer or whatever. There's no problem with that. In Pattaya, you can arrange to head to Siam Reap in Cambodia, and under normal circumstances, you can be picked up at your hotel in Pattaya at 8:30 in the morning. And you will probably be in your hotel in Siam Reap by 5:30 p.m. So that's 9 hours. That's not a problem. Whereas if you to get a flight there, you probably go from Bangkok to Phnom Penh, and it's okay. But I know people whose flights have been delayed for hours and hours. So yeah, I'll just do the border cross. I don't see a problem with that. And of course, the scenery is nice as well. Scenery is nice. Okay, here we go. There you go. Okay, let's see. David Coleman, Areca Lodge. It isn't spelled that way. Looks good, but only you stay for a month or more. The price really it's not the cheapest hotel, but you get a lot for your money. Bloody good place. You get a lot for your money. I am Spartacus. Have you ever been to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia? It's going to be in Thailand for 6 weeks from the 10th of December. I might nip down there. It's probably, I have been to Kuala Lumpur. it's probably worth seeing, but it didn't exactly do it for me. I didn't think it was the friendliest of cities, but some people love it there. You might like it a lot more than I did. It's a travel destination. It's worth a visit. But but it didn't really do for me. David Coleman, it does not look like Liz is doing a good job. It's too early. It's too early. I mean, I think that personally, the way it looks to me, the Chancellor, well, both of them, they were probably in on it together. Liz and the Chancellor, what they did was fairly drastic last week, and it could be a case of maybe the Chancellor, was just trying to impress. He's trying to, he's trying to say, "I've arrived." I mean, and maybe he thinks time is running out. We can't do what we got to do. We got to do it quickly, and he might have been trying to make an impact. Well, I think it's backfired. Really, it's backfired. Capo 17, Liz won't last long. Okay. David R. I'll be staying in Bangkok 5 nights on touchdown and then move to my condo in Jom TM. So, well, good for them. So that's all coming up in pretty soon. Great. I'm sure David's really looking forward to it. Touch Farang. Eddie, what is your favourite establishment in Pattaya? You're talking about bar, restaurants, or whatever. There's lots of nice bars, restaurants that I like. I like some of those go-go bars on Walking Street. I won't tell you which ones. The ones that are, but not the Windmill, because I think that's overrated, that place. Yours travels. I'm only doing 4 nights in Bangkok, then off to Pattaya. Good for you, mate. 4 nights in Bangkok's about right. That's about, if you've never been there before. I'm not sure where you're staying, yours. Maybe, I think the best place to stay is probably around Soi 4, Sukhumvit, between there and Soi Cowboy, because that's, maybe there's a lot of nightlife in there, that sort of stuff there. But 4 nights in Bangkok sounds good to me, mate. Slide Teen, how's the weight loss going? It's okay. It's doing well. It's not so much the weight. It's the exercise. I've still got this belly. The belly's always the most stubborn to go, but I'm still eating food and I'm exercising. I've got my enthusiasm back for exercise. I get up of an afternoon. I have a couple of cups of coffee and I'm straight on the exercise bike, and that's basically what I'm doing now. And I'm firming up and I'm feeling a lot fitter now than I have for a very long time. That's it. Paul said, I got here late. I was watching another live show. My Thai wife wants to take me and family. And family fired a Hekaro. Okay, fine, thank you. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to skip through the chat. So a question anyway. Yeah, Mazza, Ed, do you think Liz Truss is shaven or with a bush? I'd love to find out. I wouldn't be bothered personally. I wanted to run the bloody economy properly. I wanted to run the economy and get the economy back. I don't care whether she's shaven or hairy. Okay, let me see. Dino, what 10-11. November Heathrow to Samui. And that's going direct from Heathrow to Samui, is it really? 670 with Eva Air. I think I got lucky with that price. Booked a month ago. Well, that does sound bloody good. I didn't even know you could do that route, Heathrow to Samui, with Eva Air. Seamus Doherty. I booked 6 nights in Bangkok in January. I wondered, is that too much before I go somewhere else? No, that's terrific. That's terrific. I booked 6 nights in Bangkok, and I wonder, is that too much before I go somewhere? No, there's a lot. Bangkok, there's a lot to do. If you've never been to Bangkok before, maybe it is a bit much because, well, I mean, I first went to Bangkok over 20 years ago. I went to Thailand, and Bangkok was the first one a place that I went to in Thailand, and I didn't like it. In fact, I was wandering around this big bloody city, and I thought, I don't like this place, but it grows and grows and grows on you over the years. And now I love Bangkok. I could easily stay in Bangkok for 6 nights, not a problem. But I think you need to find your way around that city, because it is such a big sprawling city. You do need to do research on it, and you need to know where to go and what you're doing there. But 6 nights in Bangkok, enjoy it, mate. Great city. Dave Cook, it is, Eddie. The pound is skyrocketing. To which planet are you talking about there? The bloody English one isn't. Let's see. Was it Dina? Carl's Thailand. That's a great price, Dina. Is that the real Carl's? There's so many fakes in the chat. Is that the real Carl's Thailand? Nice to hear from you, Carl. Great to hear. That's a great price, Dina. If that's the real Carl's Thailand, then cheers to you. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. Wonderful channel where he goes trekking through mountains and rural Thailand and up mountains, and he films it in such a fantastic way. So I would urge everyone to watch Carl's Thailand. He doesn't just do videos walking up and down Soi Buakhao and Beach Road and all that kind of stuff. He actually gets out there and and travels to, and his videos. If you're going to watch his YouTube channel, watch it on a big TV screen. It's really big screen adventure. Okay, so nice to hear from you, Carl's Tyler. He has actually been on this channel. If you dig, I interviewed him earlier this year. Nice to hear from you. Anyway, I went to have £5. Arthur Lobon, it went 5%, went down 5% last week. That's bollocks all. I mean, it's all the pound's rubbish right now at this moment in time. The Scouts is good evening. I just returned back from Thailand yesterday, and I have to say it has changed for the worse. And I must have stumped my toe at least a dozen times, so the pavement's a bit dodgy. That is the case. It has changed for the worse. Well, you don't have to say which part you went, but it's been a troubled year, hasn't it? I mean, I was in Thailand for the first 4 months of this year, and it wasn't what it should be, because it started off with all these draconian rules regarding the pandemic. It got better, but all of these businesses and places, islands and everything, took a hammering during the pandemic. I mean, if you see my video on Koh Samui, I mean, you look at all those bars and other shops and businesses that were closed. That can't recover overnight. It can't possibly recover overnight. I mean, the big thing is that we'll have a look at what's happening this winter time. The peak season starts probably towards the end of November and goes on December, January, February, into March. That's the peak season. So the big question is, will the peak season will things be really, really back to normal? I think there's a good chance that, it'll be better. Let me see. Bintman, Soi Buakhao and LK Met with a new walk scene. That's where everyone seems to be going. Go-go bars. Go-go and bars open till 3 a.m. It's a different clientele, isn't it? Soi Buakhao and LK Metal are basically for the older crowd, the older, boozy crowd, whereas Walking Street is more touristy, and Walking Street is more expensive as well. But I still maintain, I did say this the other night, that with Walking Street, there's an element of you get what you pay for. I mean, I still maintain that the best the best live bands, the best go-go bars, are all the ones around the Walking Street area and in the side streets. You pay more money down there and there is more touristy, but Walking Street is a better quality. I can think of bars with live bands in Walking Street, and the bands and the establishments are of a quality that you simply couldn't get in Soi Buakhao or LK Metro. I mean, that's just my opinion. I always love Walking Street. David Mayer, the pound is rising like Little Eddie. Oh, Little Eddie will rise again. I mean, why are people saying the pound is rising? Doesn't look, a couple of, 0 point something percent. It doesn't look, I mean, it could easily go the other way very, very soon. I don't think it's rising. Okay, Daniel Kelly, how's it going? How's it going? Nice to hear from you. Let me say, if we got here, chat 69 XYZ best adult dating site. Anyone interested? Anyone interested in that? He's only put it on there twice. He's getting a bit bored, whoever he is. Let me see now. Okay. David Coleman, I still miss the Kojak's. Forget the hairy. Forget the hairy shape. No, see, the hairy came long before the Kojak's, long before. Okay. Carl Silent. I prefer the line crossing at Klong Yai, Ko Rong for Cambodia. It's not faster, just a bit better. I didn't like that one. That's when I first went to Cambodia. That crossing. And what it is, I've been to Thailand and Vietnam and other countries, but I'd never made it to Cambodia. And I was in Pattaya, and I thought I'm finally going to do Cambodia. This was many years ago, and I bought my ticket from a little booth, a little tourist booth agents on Second Road, and they actually booked my hotel. They booked that border crossing. They booked a hotel in they booked a hotel in Koh Rong, that area, the other side of an overnight hotel, and then they booked a bus going to Chinookville the following day. And I arrived at that little hotel in Koh Rong, and it was a dump. It was an absolute. I left it in their hands, and it was a dump. And I woke up late in the evening. Everything was closed. I thought that's no good. I may as well just go back to bed. And I found there was a bloody rat running around my room. It was a ground floor room. There was a bloody rat running around my room, over night time. And it was. I thought, welcome to Cambodia. Absolutely dreadful. But I always believe that if something gets off to a crap start, then it could very well, get a lot better. Like Liz Truss and Crispy, whatever his name is, they've got off to a crap start. Who's to say they might get better? Yeah, they might just get better. I mean, Orson Welles, he started at the top and worked his way down, didn't he? I mean, maybe Liz Truss and Crispy, maybe they might do, a lot better. But like I say, my first visit to Cambodia didn't get off to a good start. But then I quickly learned that country is amazing, absolutely. David, Eddie, have you ever flown ANA? Not sure it's a good option for you in the UK, as you will have to fly to Tokyo. No, I've never actually done that. Never actually done that one. Okay, so let me just say now. Anyway, so the question is, okay, I'm just going to skip through the chat here a little teensy weensy bit. Bintman, yeah, this is interesting. I stayed 2 nights in Bangkok, Soi Nana, before flying back to the UK. What was a big shock was the price compared to Pattaya. The food was double the price, and the ladies a lot more than Pattaya. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It probably is. It probably is. It can be. If you stay in that area, that's the most touristy area, and you drink at places like Big Dogs and the Hillary bars. That's you will pay a much higher price. And then when you go to Pattaya, if you go to some of the live bands, see the live bands in Pattaya, you will find you were paying 95 baht for a beer, and that same beer will probably cost you about 160 or 180 in Soy Cowboy. So yeah, I mean, Pattaya is still. Yeah, Pattaya is far better value, but Bangkok is still worth a visit as long as you don't splash the cash. It's too much. It's still worth a visit. Yeah, David Coleman. He likes David Coleman. He likes the Italian PM. I bet the PM in Italy shaves clean. Cheers. Yeah, good looking. I mean, there's never ever been a time when there's so many world leaders that I'd like to have rumpy pumpy with. I mean, that one in Finland, he likes the party girl. He wears the tight white trousers. My God, Harold Wilson never looked like that. He never danced like that. Geez, but prime ministers nowadays, can be quite sexy. The Italian PM, yeah, sexy woman. We'll talk about her some night on the other channel. Whether we'd like to see her naked or not. And I think the answer is that'd be a quick one. Okay, let me see now. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Carl sound. Cheers, Eddie. Yeah, it's really big. Okay, cheers for that, Emma. Carl. Nice meeting you again. Oh, we'll meet up again sometime. Anyway, Carl's Thailand. Check it out, everybody. Absolutely terrific. Yeah, with Paul Harrison, he likes your channel. Carl's Thailand is great. Okay. David Muldowney, Carl's Thailand. Absolutely. Thing is, I'm losing weight, but I don't think I could do all that trekking through the mountains. You never know. If I'm a few stone lighter, I feel more physically agile now than I have done for quite a while. You never know how I feel, but I think climbing the steps to a temple is about my limit here for the time being. So let's see. Yeah, yummy, whatever. Thailand's high season prices are rising like crazy. Businesses are trying to recover some of the losses in the last 2 years. Well, we'll find out all about that anyway. We'll find out about that later. Okay, so I'll just skip through the chat here. I'll just skip through some of the chat. Yeah, let's see who's this here. Yeah, let's see. Carl Stanley, I first went that route when you had to spend 5 hours on a ferry. Well, it's a road now. It's a road now. Yeah, I can't that cold wrong one. I do remember that there were more scammers at that border crossing than the one in Poi Pet. There were some more scammers that way. Yeah, who's this? Paul UK. Many scams at Koh Kong crossing. Yeah, that's what I found. I found it that way. Phil Balg. Hi, Eddie. After you arrive in Bangkok and head to Pattaya, how do you get there? By bus or well, I go there because if you go downstairs in Savannah Bhumi Airport, you can get a bus, can't you, for about, forget what it is. What is it? It's about 150 baht or something. It's about £3 or something like that. It's something like that. It's dirt cheap, and the bus may you probably don't have to wait around an hour for the bus or whatever, but it's okay. You can always grab a coffee somewhere. And that bus, to be honest with you, the bus will still get from Savannah Bhumi Airport to Pattaya in about 1.5 hours, or maybe an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. So much cheaper than getting a taxi. Of course, when you get off the bus at the other end, then you'll have to get a taxi, but then you're in Pattaya anyway, so it's not going to be that much. David Bruce, I'm in Pattaya now, and it seems like less people about, but more traffic on the roads. Okay. Donald Trump. How's the bars in the capital of Cambodia? Sorry, I fell asleep for the answer. The bars. Well, I've been to Cambodia for almost 4 years now, and the Phnom Penh Riverside bars were fantastic, and I've got reason to believe that they probably are again. There's probably lots of lovely ladies there, but they need the customers. I mean, these have been troubled times we've gone through. We're in the it's still the rainy season in these countries. I think time will tell. This winter time, the peak season, I'm hoping to be there in the peak season this year. Can't wait. Let me see. Here's a question. Marcus Chalky, what makes Cambodia so good apart from the people? Well, the people is the number one thing, because when you arrive there, you find that the people they're amongst the best that you will get certainly anywhere in the world. They're a great bunch of people. Even in restaurants, you meet some, in bars, you meet some real characters there, real characters. What makes them so great? Well, Cambodia's so great. It's a smaller country. Cambodia's got a big disadvantage now. It lost its main beach resort, Sihanoukville. It lost it to a Chinese casino city. So it's not the country it once was. But Siem Reap is still very pleasant, very pleasant town. And Phnom Penh, you either love it or hate it. Carl's Thailand, the ferry went from Koh Rong to Sihanoukville. Really, I think that was a bus that I got from Koh Rong to Sihanoukville. I didn't get a ferry there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to ask a big question in a minute. A big question. Okay, there we go. Let me see now. Paul UK. Anyone been to the gentlemen's clubs on Soi Bangkok? Great set of bars and very cheap. If you're there, it's worth, especially Amsterdam bar. The ladies are. I don't think I've been to too many of those gentlemen's clubs personally, so I couldn't actually tell you that one. Yours travels. Can you get a bus from central Bangkok to Pattaya? If like me, doing 4 nights in Bangkok, yeah, yes, you can. But the bus leaves from Ekamai. You can get the bus from Ekamai station in central Bangkok. It's off Sukhumvit, and that will take you to Pattaya bus station. And I can't remember the price of it, but I'm sure it's going to be very reasonably priced. But to be perfectly honest with you, that is actually a longer journey from central Bangkok to Pattaya than if you were going from Suvarnabhumi Airport to Pattaya. And you get stuck in traffic. To be honest, after being there for a few days, I was like the luxury of getting a taxi. Really, you can get a taxi for about 1,500 baht from central Bangkok to Pattaya, and then that will drop you off at your hotel. I was like the luxury of a taxi personally. Okay. Lewis said the Chinese not being allowed to travel for 2 years. So I wonder what Sihanoukville is like without them. God knows. Yeah, as far as I know, it's not the place it should be. Okay, I'm going to be back in a moment. Squeaky door time. I've got a couple of little questions coming up. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Comments. Okay. Is that chat day? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, yours travels. 1,500 baht taxi it is. Yeah, I mean, you have to shop around a little bit. I mean, some of them will try and get more. Maybe you might even get it for less, but 1,500 baht taxi, that is, you probably could get that from your hotel, and that's better. I mean, I wouldn't want to be, because you'd have to, find your way to the Ekamai bus station, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. So let's see. Okay, so what I've done on the other channel, Steady Eddie Live, on the Steady Eddie Live channel, we do the big question, which is questions about various things, absolutely anything really, usually not travel related. We talk about other stuff. We talk about, the Wongas being banned from Gambia. We talk about millionaire rock stars preaching to ordinary working people. For money and all this kind of stuff. And we talk about all kinds of interesting subjects. We talk about, will Liz Truss be any good? And I think we've already got the answers to that one, haven't we? Well, no, to be fair, it's early days, yeah. But what I done the other day, or yesterday, I think it was, I invited a couple of people. What am I talking bloody gibberish yet? I invited people in the chat to offer some questions, of their own that we could discuss on that channel, and a lot of the questions were actually travel related questions. So I decided to use those on this channel anyway. A couple of them. Here's a couple of questions anyway. That's where the couple came in. And this is a question. Okay, this is not a bad question. It's from Duff. I'll put his name on the screen anyway. I'll put his name on the screen. Okay, it's a good question to discuss this one. What is his name again? Let's see. Put the cap locks on. It's what is his name? Same name. It's okay. So let's see. Okay. And this is a good question from Duffler. The good question. Let's see. Where's this again? Oh, come on, get your act together, Eduardo. Get your act together. No, that's not how you spell it. Okay, good question. Good question. Okay, good question. This is from Duffler. So we're going to ask this question now, right? It's going to drink the rest of this. The world is in a very, very precarious state right now. It's very, very precarious. We can't really talk explicitly about what's happening in Eastern Europe. We've got this madman who's threatening to push the button and all this kind of stuff. Very, very precarious, very, very worrying. Anything could happen. Absolutely anything. Our worst fears could come true. We got a lunatic, in charge of a country which has the weapons, the weapons of mass destruction, and anything could happen. So Duffler has asked this question. It may be, it may be relating to other stuff like the economy going down the pan and all that. But Duffler has asked a question. There we go. Duffler has asked a question. This is Duffler, that's his name. How many people are being put off travel or living abroad with world politics the way they are right now? Good question. So anyway, what do people think of that? What do we think of that? Let me see. I'll repeat it again. How many people are being put off travel or living abroad with world politics the way they are right now? And while it takes time to answer that one, I'm going to grab a beer. Okay, so I'm going to have a hobgoblin, a goblin tea's made. Nice beer, this nice beer. I don't drink too many, ales. It's mainly the Coors Light that I drink now, but this looks bloody good. Okay, so let's see. What do we think of that? That's Duffler's question. Okay, McLaren F1 race, not me. Who cares? Okay. Arthur Lobon, no, it's making me travel more. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can understand the logic. Who's this? David Coleman. We should have left Saddam Hussein in power. And I look at them now. I wouldn't say that. Martin Blunsden, why worry? Live your life. Let me see. David Mayer, those who do not have much money, okay? Jackie Chang, I'm not, because if it happens, it happens. Yeah, I suppose so. KY, I'm building a bunker. I don't blame you, mate. Big Man One, nothing puts me off traveling. It's the one thing that keeps me going in this crazy world. Here's a good answer. Paul UK, we will be safer in Thailand than we will be in the UK. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, because those countries are not involved in any of this right now. They don't appear to be involved in any of it. Let me see. I can't actually print comments. I can't actually put comments on the screen that specifically involves the name of the madman or what he intends to do. I can't, I don't think that's allowed. That. Okay, world traveler. Not worried about it one bit. Just hoping the dollar stays strong. I think a lot of people are not worried about it. Insouciant is the word, isn't it? Being uncaring in the face of danger. I think we're all a little bit insouciant at this moment. I mean, see, the thing is, the way I see it, it's like when I went to places like this, Colombia, and I was in cities like Calais and Medellin, or however you pronounce it, and people were saying to me, how can you go places like that traveling alone? Because, they're really, really dangerous. And there's such a high murder rate in these countries. And I think the attitude is, a lot of people who travel say, no, I didn't have any problems. It's quite safe. As long as you use your common sense, it's quite safe. But you hear all these statistics of hundreds and hundreds of people being killed every month, murdered in cities in Colombia and all this. And the way that I see it, all of this stuff is just statistics. It is just statistics until, of course, it happens to you personally. It's the scenario that you think it'll never happen to you. I mean, in the month that I was in Medellin, and I didn't know about this until I came back to England, but there were these tourists who were in a taxi, and they were at stoplights. And one of the most dangerous places you can be in places like Colombia is waiting at the traffic lights, because you can't go anywhere. You're trapped. And these villains will come up beside you on motorbikes. And what happens? That's what happened there. This tourist, and he had a gold chain around his neck. These robbers sped up alongside the taxi in the motorbike, put a gun at him, and said, give us your gold chain. He resisted, and they shot him in the chest and killed him. It's like I say, it's just statistics until it happens to you personally. But I think that's the case. What we're worrying about, a lot of people are thinking, if they drop the bomb, that's it, you've got to die. So I think it's different if you're very, very young. I'd actually be less frightened now than I would if I was 20 years old, simply because at 60 years of age, I've lived my life. I've lived my life, and I've done a lot of traveling. I've had a lot of fun in my life. Good times, bad times, but I feel as if I've lived my life. If I was 20 years of age, I'd be far more worried then, because at 20 years of age, you haven't lived your life. You like to think you've got your life ahead of you. So, let me see. World traveler, not worried about it. Just, okay, we've done that one. Capo 17, not many. There's always something up. I think what Duffler's always saying With the politics as well. I think it's the economies are getting volatile, and the energy crisis and all this kind of stuff. I think he means a variety of stuff there. Let's see, Thailand discovery. Well, yeah, I haven't travelled for over 3 years. But I think I'm back to Thailand on October the 15th. I think, yeah, like Paul UK said, I mean, you probably are a lot safer in Thailand than you are in anywhere in Europe. You're traveling. Okay, so whatever. Adventures around the world. If they drop the news, then I'd rather be on a flight to Thailand. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's Harry. It's not so much about politics, but travel costs. I'm avoiding Europe though, heading for Bali and Koh Samui in November. Okay, fair enough. Good for you, mate. Good for you. S travels 4K. If you was going to retire, you would definitely have to postpone it with the current climate. Yeah, that's right. That's the question. Let's have a look at the question again. He's not just saying travel, but he's talking about living abroad as well. S travels 4K. If you were going to retire, you would definitely will have to postpone the current climate. Yeah, I think that relates to the economy, doesn't it? It relates to the economy. I mean, the economy is just going bloody pear-shaped in a lot of countries. We don't know which way currencies are going to go. If you've got a British pension, which is obviously is going to be in pounds sterling, and then you want to go and live in Thailand, you've got to make sure that your British pension, you're going to worry about the pound more than anyone else is going to worry about it. Because if that pound really does go down the toilet, and it's quite possible that it will, then you're going to lose out big time. You might not be able to afford to live in places like Thailand. No. Asian paradise. I'll be afraid of getting stuck in a quarantine hotel for 2 weeks in the Philippines. Do you know what? Out of all of that bloody stuff going on about 2 weeks quarantine hotel, I managed to get through the whole pandemic without doing any of that. Thank God. I'd go crazy without any beer. Mark Woods, I am planning to travel now before the world gets too crazy. Might get stuck after hurry home. Okay, I mean, you can't really, you can't live your life safety. I mean, living your life in total safety is probably a very, very dull life. You've got to, I mean, getting out of bed of a morning is a risk, isn't it? There's so many people who get out of bed of a morning and probably fall over and drop dead. It happens. Let me see. Okay, let me see. David Coleman. Anyone that travels to Europe now is crazy. Well, I mean, Britain's. We're not in the European Union. We are very, very. Let's just say that we're in striking distance. We're in striking distance. And we're a country that helped out Ukraine. I'm pretty sure old Vlad the Impaler has got a big grudge against us. Pretty sure of that. Okay. Yeah, Daz, life is short. Don't let anybody stop you doing what you want to do. We here today, could be gone tomorrow. Absolutely. I mean, I know people who just bloody drop dead. I know someone who's younger than me, younger than I am, fair bit younger, and he actually died during a funeral. Believe it or not, yes, he actually died. He went to somebody's funeral, and as he was walking up the path when they were, he took a heart attack and dropped dead. He's about 45 years old. Jesus Christ. I mean, people have often said to me about my travels, one of these days you're going to pick the wrong place and, you're going to be shot dead or kidnapped or beheaded. When I come back from South America, people, said to me, was it dangerous? And my answer was always the same. I'm still alive, so Thailand found I postponed travel because of the economy right now. I'm watching the crypto market pump like crazy. Okay. Jackie Chang, pound shooting up against the baht. Am I missing something here? Pound shooting up. Is it? Am I looking at the wrong currency on these? Because it doesn't look like that to me. It don't look like that to me. Sean Griffiths not traveling right now due to the pound being crap to the dollar. I think if you went to, it's only expensive if you go to currencies which use the dollar. Cambodia uses the dollar, so if Cambodia is one of the cheapest countries in the world, but it will be more expensive now for us Brits simply because they use the dollar. So everything will be more expensive. The hotels and everything will be more expensive in Cambodia. It'll still be cheap, but not as cheap as it would be if the pound was strong. But geez, imagine for the tourists going to America now. God almighty, that must be very, very expensive. That really must. I am Spartacus. Who's the madman, Eddie? From where I sit, all our leaders are crazy. Okay. Yeah, Baki Padji. It is sad and out of control. It won't stop me from traveling. Okay, good for you. Carl's Thailand. I tell you what, through all of the past few years, there was never a time I wasn't happy to be in Thailand, even the lockdowns. Good for you, Carl. Good for you. We were all miserable as sin here in the UK. I mean, the thing is, let me just take a sip about this before you tell me the thing is. Hobgoblet, that's very, very nice. Maybe it feels nice, tastes really nice, simply because I don't have that many. I don't consume that many real ales right now because I'm drinking like Coors Light, all of the time. You know what I mean? But that's tasty stuff. That I really like that. So what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Yeah, Carl's Thailand. I tell you what, through all the past few years, there was never a time I wasn't happy to be in Thailand, even though lockdowns. Okay, now that's interesting. Do you know something? I mean, let's go back to Duffler's question. How many people being put off travel or living abroad with world politics being the way they are right now? To be honest with you, all of us, every one of us has come through a couple of years that are really, really, really dreadful. That pandemic, the lockdowns. I mean, it's a bizarre situation. You're told that you shouldn't even go outdoors, or if you go for a walk, you might be arrested. Your doctor advises you that you want to go out and walk regularly, get some exercise. During the pandemic, you go out walking and you get bloody arrested for being out walking. I mean, it was dreadful. After what we've been through the last couple of years, I don't care anymore. I don't care. Nothing's going to bloody stop me from going abroad and having a good time. And like I say, I do think, or personal thing, I think the age difference makes something. I'm 60 years of age. I could bloody drop dead next week of a heart attack or tomorrow of a heart attack. If I was 20, I would worry so much more. And I haven't got a family, so I mean, I don't have that to worry. I know some people worry about families and all this kind of stuff, but it's at 60 years of age, I've lived my life. I've had my adventures in my life. I've done all the things that I want to do. I still want to do more of them. But if I was much, much younger, that's when I would really worry about what's happening in the world. Yeah. So anyway, let's go through this again. Michael Janaeus, I've been living in the UK for the last 9 years. I had a great life here, but the way it's going, I'll be heading back to Australia next year. Europe is stuffed. UK is stuffed. Very, very sad. Yeah, looks that way, doesn't it? Ian Bowden, good evening, Eddie and all. Raining here tonight in Benidorm, but not stopping the town partying. Benidorm sounds like a good place to be. Good for you, Ian. I met Ian and his lovely missus, Barbara, out in Pattaya. They're in Benidorm now. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Funny enough, I was watching that YouTube channel. What's it called? Lucia names. What's it called? Benidorm enthusiast or whatever it's called. I was watching her today, and she was talking about, is Benidorm still good value? And everyone's got a different opinion. One fella came on and said, when she said, how much is a beer here? He said a beer is about €1.5. Great value and all that. And then she was telling some other people, like they said, a beer is about €3. And well, somebody's getting it wrong. So one insists it's €1.5. Someone else insists it's €3. But either way, Benidorm's a good, fun place to be. Really is. So nice to hear from you, Ian. Have a great time anyway. AG, wouldn't put me off. What will it be? What will be it? Oh, whatever will be, will be. I think that's what you mean. Gorgeous Thailand. A pound equals 41.3 baht today. So it's gone basically, 1%, or what? That's nothing to get excited about, is it really? Rifford, scariest journey I ever took was South Ventral. Okay. When I say okay, that means I don't know where that is. Okay. Arthur Lobon. I preferred the bomb go off just after I've been with a 20-year-old Brazilian stunner than some ugly overweight hag from the social club in the UK. Okay. You don't need to sugarcoat it over. You can say what you want, mate. Okay. Yours travels. The Antarctica took 18 months of my traveling. That's why I virtually traveled 10 months straight. Yeah, good for you, mate. Good for you. Make up a lot lost time. I mean, I remember like during the pandemic, I was talking to this very, very nice retired couple, and these are people who've worked all their lives, and they just like going on holidays and as you would. Good for them. And the way they phrased it was that the Antarctica had really robbed them of 2 years of their retirement, 2 years that they should have been out traveling and enjoying life. I mean, we've all come through all of that. So, it's going to take really something to stop me from traveling. Asian Paradise. Not all of us support the current thing, Eddie. I'll have to. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Let's see. Samuel Hutchinson, you are still a pup, Eddie. Plenty more miles on the clock. Cheers, mate. Well, I bloody hope so, because you know what? I haven't lost. I don't know how much I've lost. I honestly don't. I haven't been on the scales. The best advice I ever heard about losing weight was from a gym instructor, and he said, "Don't go by the scales. Go by what you see in the mirror." Well, I'm actually going by the fact that I can go on my exercise bike for 1.5 hours and then go for a nice speed walk up a country lane. There and back, and do some exercises. I mean, I can do that at 60 years of age, and I think the little weight loss has made a bit of difference to that, a bit more weight loss, because I mean, if you can lose like 3 stone or what, and I haven't lost 3 stone yet, nowhere near, pretty sure of that. But if you can lose that amount of weight, you do feel a lot more agile afterwards. So. I'm feeling like I've gone a bit younger. Ivan, the mad guy here is Sleepy Joe. Okay. RJ, is most of this propaganda? When last in Thailand, the news was about stuff going on in the South China Sea, but nothing about it in the UK. Well, I mean, that could still surface again, couldn't it? That's controversy about the South China Sea has been raging on for years, hasn't it? So it could easily surface again. It's not going to go away easily. And how about Taiwan? I mean, how about Taiwan? Greg Cozy, I went there a few years ago, and it was a nice place, nice country. I would be very, very sad if China invaded. Dreadful. Yogi Bear. Ed, you have one life, live it. You can't go backwards, and you don't get a second go. Well said, mate. I'll drink to that. Capo 17. Christopher Columbus didn't give a shit. He just went for it. So I was reading something on MSN the other week about people who are overrated. And as he said, Christopher Columbus was overrated. How can you say a legendary historical figure was overrated? I think they also said that Mother Teresa was overrated. And what is the I can't remember lots of these bloody people were overrated. I mean, apparently the thinking is that Christopher Columbus didn't really discover America. I mean, there were already indigenous American people there, but beside the Vikings were there before he was. So, anyway. So let's see, gorgeous Thailand. I'm bolting to Thailand for the winter. I can see a gloomy 4 months coming up in the UK. Well, I won't be here, mate. I won't be here during that time. Lewis C. Looks like a climate change will happen. Will Thailand get more floods? No, it's not. It's nothing unusual for Thailand to have. I mean, sometimes like Pakistan had exceptionally bad floods. Recently. I mean, I hear there's a lot of heavy rain in Thailand, and some of the streets are getting flooded. It's not that unusual. It's happened before during the rainy season. So no, I think it'll be all right. I mean, come like November, I'm expecting to be sitting at a beach bar in Pattaya, looking out at the lovely water, that I never ever go swimming in, and during the night wearing the t-shirt and shorts, and now it'll be all right. Okay, Michael Janaeus, Australia is very far from that maniac Putin. Okay. Well, yeah, probably is. That probably is not a bad place to be. David Coleman, I climbed a live volcano in Guatemala, and 2 weeks later, a few people were killed on an explosion. Stuff happens. I stood in front of that massive hotel in Mumbai Harbour. What is that? What is that hotel? The famous big, is it called the Taj Mahal Hotel or something like that? Whatever it was called. That big hotel. I stood at Mumbai Harbour in front of that hotel, and then about a month later, there was that terrorist attack where 200 people were massacred by terrorists. I think they were mainly Westerners who they were targeting, and that's truly dreadful. That's truly dreadful. But yeah, you're right. Stuff happens. Can't stop you living your life, mate. Let's see, Jackie Chang. If you can't afford to live on a pension in Thailand, you can't afford to live here either. Okay. Let's see. Carl's Thailand. I'm fed up with people having to live in fear this past few years. I mean, I am. I mean, we live with the. I mean, it was probably bad all over. Even in Thailand during the lockdown, all these draconian rules. Cambodia, someone in Cambodia said, they're not allowed to go out only once a week to get shopping. It was bloody dreadful. I mean, here we have people arrested, arrested simply for going for a walk. I mean, what a bizarre. I mean, the most strangest period in any of our lives. I mean, after that, I wouldn't care. I mean, the thing is, I never worried about traveling to dangerous countries before. Now, after living, suffering that bloody lockdown and all the misery that went with it, I'd be even less. I'm getting on that airplane pretty soon, and I'm going to have some great times. That's all I know. Arthur Lobon, if anywhere in Western Europe was hit, it would not take long before the entire continent was doomed. Okay. JHK, maybe South America's a bit worse, but being drunk and alone a night out in Bangkok is less dangerous than a 7-Eleven hot dog in the West. Okay, fair enough. Fair comment. Dutch Farang, pound to baht is 42.45 right now, according to Google. Well, that's more than when I looked a few hours ago, but let's hope it continues in the right direction. Bottle baby, a chorus of boos from people when they tell them where you're going. Who's booing? I can't hear anyone booing. Kenny T, the pound is a trusted currency. It will go up and down, but never busted. There's a fair sign for everything, mate. At the pound against the dollar the other day was the lowest it's ever been in history, in the whole history of the pound. The lowest it's ever been. So, expect anything. Samuel Hutchinson, thank you for that super chat, Samuel Hutchinson. Have one on me, mate. Cheers. Okay, cheers, Samuel. I appreciate that. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Gorgeous Thailand. You won't get hobgoblin in Thailand. Don't worry. I know where to get a goblin in Thailand. Okay. Bintman, is the hobgoblin part of the fitness routine? I mean, these beers were bought, a month or so ago before my exercise routine really got serious, and I've got tons of cores and a fair bit of Kronenberg left, but not many real ales. But I'm just treating myself, just during the stream anyway. Treating myself. I certainly wouldn't drink these on a regular basis, but I've been good anyway. I'm doing my exercises every day. A nomad overseas. It's bonkers how many of the girls I chat to here try to convince me to bring them back to Ireland until I explain how expensive everything is there. After that, they're happy to stay in the Philippines. Well, I can't comment because I've never been to Ireland. But Philippines, I know Philippines is a great little place. David Mayer, Brazil might be a problem if Bolsonaro will not give up power. But Brazil has never been involved in too many wars or military conflicts with other countries, have they? I mean, the problem with Brazil is corruption and violent crime. That's the problem. The problem is Brazil is a wonderful country. I've spent months in Brazil. I've traveled all over that country. Absolutely wonderful place. Very colourful, marvellous people that you meet. The problem with that country is they always have corrupt leaders. Brazil probably has all the natural minerals and all the other stuff to make it a wealthy country, but they constantly have corrupt leaders who, they get rid of one corrupt leader, and before you know it, they've got another corrupt leader. Pity, really, such a pity. Arthur Lobon, if you want to complain about a currency being crap, take a look at the euro. Well, the euro it's. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that. I mean, the euro is it's probably crap against the dollar, but against the pound. I mean, I remember the time when it was 1.4 euros to a pound. That's the best I ever remember it. But 1.22 euros to a pound. Isn't. But I mean, now it's. The euro was going stronger against the pound. Anyway, I wouldn't exactly say that was a crap currency. What I will mention about some of these so-called experts, on terrestrial TV. I think it was the ITV. They've got this travel expert. He's an old guy with glasses. I can't remember his name. But basically, he's the travel expert, and the presenter was asking him, for his advice on currencies, but for people going to Europe. And this the other day, he said, well, it will, if you have the British pound, it'll be more expensive now for you to go to Europe. And what he did was he held up a £10 note. Okay, he said, right, under normal circumstances, this £10, if you were to go to Europe, would get you 15 euros. He held up a 10 and a €5. £10 will get you 50. So in other words, under normal circumstances, it would be 1.5 euros to a pound. Really? In the Euro's 20-year history, I can never bloody remember when it was 1.5 euros to a pound. I can remember more like 1.15 or 1.17 or 1.20. Or something like what it is now. But, the most I can ever remember was 1.4, and that was pretty acceptable. So, and he's an expert, this fella. I don't know where he's getting those bloody figures from. David Coleman. Lots of people die on the toilet. What a shit way to go! Oh my god! Oh my. Yeah, but you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right, mate. You're probably right. Ian Bowden, I was lucky. I bought loads of euros about 2 months ago at 1.16 business rate. On the day was 1.18. Okay, yeah, fine. So that's more like it. I mean, it wasn't 1.5 euros to a pound. I can never remember that. But yeah, that sounds about right. But before, about a year or so before the so before the vote, the referendum, it did actually touch 1.4 euros to a pound then, and that was the most exceptional that I've ever known it. My name is Lon. I like Ed. Hey Ed, have you ever tried Beer Lao Dark? It's a dark beer in the 7-Elevens in Thailand. Tasty stuff. I can't remember, but I probably had. Carl's Thailand. I'm 60 next year, Ed. He's still some adventures left in me. Good for him. I mean, Carl goes trekking through all these wonderful rural places in Thailand. Excuse me. Go check out his channel, Carl's. He's got a wonderful YouTube channel. It really is. You know, if you ever wanted it to be adventurous in Thailand, but you know, you don't really know where to start, well, go and watch Carl's Thailand travel channel on YouTube, and he'll give it a great bit of advice, and he'll show you the way. Great channel. Okay, so let's see. Ed ventures around the world. They're crashing the UK on purpose to be first to grow back in a year or two. Buckle up, the next 12 months will be awful. Well, you crash the UK. I can't really say when it's when that's when it's gonna come back. Ian Bowden, health is wealth. Keep traveling till either health or wealth runs out. Whatever happens first. That's my motto. I'll drink to that, Ian. I'll drink to that. Yours travels. Benidorm is around 250 euros on average for beer. Yeah, sounds about right. It used to be 150. Yeah, absolutely. I mean that Lucy was on that Benidorm YouTube channel. A lot of the people that she was interviewing seemed to be very, very happy. But like I said, it's something strange when you meet one guy who insists it's €1.50 for a beer, and someone else who says it's €3 to a beer. Everyone's got a different opinion. Cheryl Rushinsky. Hello, where are you from? YouTube showed me your fingernail. I think you need the thumbnail, don't you? I think you need the thumbnail. Cheryl, if you've never tuned in before, Cheryl Rushinsky. That's a lovely, charming name. I'm English. I'm originally from the exotic city of Liverpool. That's where I come from originally, but I haven't lived there for over 20 years. I live in the south. I live in the south of England now, the southwest, and a more rural environment anyway. But nice to hear from you anyway. Nice to hear from you. Johnny D. Eddie, Thailand is the greatest place on earth. Well, we go there often enough, so maybe it is. Let me see. Paul Harrison. A good indication of weight loss is your trousers getting loose. Okay. Now, do you know something? I haven't actually put my jeans on for quite a while. Yeah, and I think I have lost a little bit of weight. It'll be interesting to see how back there is. I wear shorts all the time. I wear shorts, and I go running well, no, I don't go run. I go speed walking up a country lane in shorts. It'll be interesting to see how that is. Okay, let's see. Martin Blunt, get up the mountain with Carl. He'll get you slim, Ed. Well, I mean, I think if I die climbing a mountain, it's not a bad way to go, is it? I don't think I'm ready for any of that just yet. I don't want to be too ambitious. David Coleman, I never stopped going out in Toronto during the so-called pandemic. The police refused to arrest refused it. They told the government it was not their job. Okay, that's good. That's good. Biggest daddy. Is it really true that Thailand overall is less expensive than the Philippines? It depends. It depends. I think sometimes the hotels can be a little bit more expensive in the Philippines. In Manila, you can pay a higher price for the hotel, but I think overall Philippines is probably a little bit cheaper than Thailand. That's the way it seems to me, anyway. Let's see, David Mayer. You might be better off doing shorter time but more intense exercise. Okay, fair enough. The problem with doing intense exercise is that I dread it coming. Whereas I get on the exercise bike and I just in a relaxed mode and I can just watch TV and just not a problem. Paul Harrison, there's only one way of life, and that's your own. Is my way of looking at it. Okay, fine. So let me see. Now. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. And nomad overseas. Ed, it's interesting you mentioned about people visiting the Americas. They found bones in a cave in Brazil. I think they were 50,000 years old and were Aborigines. That's about 35,000 years before Indians arrived. Yeah, sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, I do believe in fairies. The pound's back to 42.40. Well, I'll have to check that out. It wasn't that one last time I looked, but maybe things have changed. Yours travels. The bar tipped to 38.5 a few days ago, back to the pound. That's why it seems great at 42.5 to the pound now. Okay, well, we've just got to see what happens, really. David Coleman, do you understand how that's an institute responsible for? Okay, I think I did read some of it. I don't want to get into that right now. That might offend some people. Yours travels, got friends in Dublin and over one or two times a year. Wow, it's a rip-off. And they live in just outside the city centre. I've never been to Ireland personally. I think the reason there is because it's notoriously expensive, especially if you like a drink, really. I've heard that it's a good place to be. But, if it's that price, I don't think I'd be going. Okay, someone said, yeah, Nick Day, Thailand. Good morning. Rain as usual in Bangkok. Hope it doesn't come up my drive. Well, it's the rainy. I mean, some rainy seasons are probably all right, and some are worse than others, aren't they? Lawrence Wells, Eddie, stop eating refined flour products, seeds, oils, and sugar. Your life will change remarkably. Keto diet is the way forward to healthy living. Maybe it is, but can you drink beer on the keto drive? If you can't drink beer, then it's not my kind of diet. You know, this goblin. This is bloody good stuff. This is good stuff. Very very nice. Very very nice stuff. Okay, like it. Yummy, yummy. Let me see. Asian Paradise Lefty in Brazil was released from prison early year to run against Bolsonaro. Oh, Jesus Christ. Brazil's a wonderful, wonderful one. I love that country. Absolutely loved it when I traveled through Brazil. I love so many places, and I went all around that big country, and I'm wonderful and all that. But it's so sad, really, that it's corrupt governments, isn't it? Just corrupt governments all the time. Mr. G-Man, the pound is 20% less against the euro than it was. Well, it varies, mate. I mean, it varies. I don't think it's that bad. I've seen it. I've seen the pound to the euro that bad before. Okay, so let's see. Judge Farang, pound deserves to crash because you all voted Brexit. Okay. Daniel Mills was always around €1.15. Yeah, it was something like that. And it's not far from that now, is it? So I don't think the pound is particularly bad against the euro. I mean, that guy on the TV, that so-called travel expert, where did he get an average of 1.5, €1.50 to a pound? I don't know where the hell he got that from. Martin Blunston, it's never been 150, 1.5. Okay. Okay, well, in that case, you'll tell the TV said to sack that bloody bloke and give me his job instead. Nick Day, I'll be in the UK for Christmas. Exchange rate will be good for me changing baht to pounds. Swings and roundabouts. That's basically what it is. Mr. Tune, it was 1.1 to €5 in early 2000s. I spent a year in Spain. Early 2000s. That was 20 years ago, mate. 20 years ago. Okay. Let me see. Yogi Bear, at the pound reached 1.752 against the euro when it was introduced to the world market. Did it really? That's amazing. I don't remember that, but maybe was that around the time that there was $2 to a pound, because about 20 years ago, the pound was so strong. There was about $2 to a pound at one time. So maybe that's maybe it's because the pound was. I can't remember that far back, to be honest with you. Let's see, Ian Bowden, gobbling and bottles here in a British pub in Benidorm, but I'm drinking Mao as I can drink British beer any time when I'm at home, okay? This gobbling is good. Maybe because I'm not having too many real ales recently because of my exercise, my diet regime. This is the first real ale I've had for a couple of days, and it tastes bloody good. Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. My name Alon. I like it. I like Ed. Hey Ed, is Samuel Smith big here in the UK? Is that a beer? I've never heard of. I don't think I've heard of that one. It's a little expensive here in the States, but I love the oatmeal stout. I don't believe I've heard that one. Let's see. Nick Tay, Thailand. Carl Chandler's amazing, especially the memory series. Love it. Yeah, okay, everyone. I would definitely recommend Carl's Thailand travel. Carl's Thailand travel. Absolutely terrific. Absolutely terrific. Okay, so where are we now? Bottle Baby. Philippines always sounds good. People that tried it loved it. It gets a bad rap. Well, I went to the Philippines twice. The first time was about 20 years ago, and I actually thought it was very, very dodgy then. I actually felt very, very unsafe in some places. Whereas the last time I went there was about 3 years ago, and it was much better. The Philippines is definitely improved because I think they've cleared up a lot of the street crime there. You know. Let me see now. Who's this? Arthur Laban. Old Carney over there would talk the pound down and kept low interest rates. Okay. So let's see. What else have we got here? We've been on for 2 hours now. Anyway, it's been a good little stream anyway. There's another little old question, a brief question anyway. A brief travel-related question. Remember, Steady Eddie Live, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturday evenings at 10 p.m. It's not a big channel. We don't have that many. It'd be helpful if more people subscribe to it. But the actual people that we have in the chat, we have such a great little community. Really good little community. We had over 200 people in the chat the other night for the small channel. That's pretty amazing. And Monday and Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock especially. I mean, what the hell's going on then? I mean, what's on the telly? I mean, aren't they the dullest nights of the week? You may as well tune into our little community. We talk about such really great stuff. So anyway, one more question. Oh yeah, here's another question. Here's another question. Yeah, okay. No, whatever. Whatever. Let me see. What other question? What other question is it? Now, I can't remember who this is. Okay, yeah, okay. Trevor J. Here's another question, a brief question, because it's worth doing this one. It's worth doing this. Okay, let's just move that one a minute. Here's another question. This is from somebody called Trevor J. What is this question again? Let me see. What is it? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see now. No, but I better put it the way that he wrote it. That he wrote it, because otherwise it will get confused. Okay, let's see. 70's question. Right, okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So this is Trevor G's question. This is a good question. Does anybody still use still use travel agents anymore rather than online? Advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So I used to use travel agents, but then I bought and I'm not really from the computer generation, but then I I then I bought a computer and then somehow I lost the computer and I ended up using the travel agent again. But especially in the last in the last 10 years, definitely it's I just don't use travel agents anymore. Occasionally I have used them for the exchange rate to buy currency, but for no other reason. Martin Blunsden, no, too expensive. Yeah, if you book a flight with the travel agent, you can probably get the same flight online. For maybe 100 or maybe even 200 quid cheaper. Lawrence Wells, online much cheaper. Yes. David Mayer, Eddie's 20 stone wife is Putin's daughter. Okay, so that's where she gets it from. Okay. HMRC benefit. No, don't see any point in using a travel agent unless for a honeymoon or they're too lazy. I think that's it. I mean, if you're booking something for a package tour or something, and it's too complicated, it may help to pay more money for a high street travel agent to sort it all out with you. But personally, the problem I wouldn't trust anyone in any job that's got the word agent in their title. I just wouldn't trust them. Nick Day, remember teletext? Yeah, I remember that. That seems very archaic now. Thailand fan, the bed in the travel agent is fit. Yeah, that's one of the. Yeah, quite often they are. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that you want to use them. And sometimes sometimes you like doing things the old-fashioned way. I used to be like that. I didn't trust the internet, and that's why if I booked a flight or whatever, and if anything went wrong with it, at least I had someone that I could go back to and confront about it. I could go into an agent and confront this has gone wrong. I didn't feel I could do that with the internet, really. I mean, I didn't think I could confront anyone on the internet in such a way. Bottle baby travel. What I went into a bank asking for traveller checks. I went to a bank asking for traveller's checks and was laughed out the door. Do they still exist, then, traveller's checks? There's something, does anyone really use them? Blast from the past. Blast from the past. Let's see, Bazooki, protected with travel agent. Carl Bazooki, protected with travel agents. Yeah, because the fact is, if they, and things do sometimes go pear-shaped with flights and whatever. I mean, with having a human person to go back to and speak directly to. I mean, if there's a problem, then hopefully the idea they can sort that problem rather than you. I mean, the thing that you don't want to do is to be phoning someone in another country and be hanging on a bloody telephone for 3 hours. That's the last thing that you want to be doing. Carl Shields, travel agent is good for multi-trips. Yeah, okay. It's good for multi-trips. For people who don't fully understand the internet or find the internet too daunting. And if you're doing multi-trips, maybe it can get a little bit confusing in the end, and that's why, you can pass the responsibility. It'll cost you more money because they will be getting their fees from it, but it will, you can pass the responsibilities to somebody else. You can sit in a chair in the travel agents and let them do all the work for you. Yours Travels. I love booking my own trips and save a fortune, checking out different sites and using Avios points too. Okay, good for you, mate. I like booking because I don't book anything. I book flights. I book my National Express coach online, my flights, my hotels with Booking.com. And it's just, sometimes I'm amazed for someone who wasn't even computer literate, about 10, 15 years ago. I'm amazed how easy it all is. It really, really is easy. Carl's Thailand, it got down to 33 baht once in the mid-90s. Oh, my God. Well, let's hope we don't get a return to any of that. Mr. Teletext travel agent. Did anyone ever use Teletext? I never used that. And I just didn't use any of that. That was before the internet, wasn't it, really? I mean, Teletext, CFAX, Page, the Oracle. I remember all of that. I thought Teletext was probably inaccurate anyway. And I remember I was going to Gran Canaria once, and it was in the month of January, and it was pouring with rain back here in England, and I looked at Teletext for the temperature in Gran Canaria, and it said the temperature in Gran Canaria tomorrow will be 17 Celsius, and I thought, well, that isn't brilliant, but it's better than what we have here in the UK. I got out to Gran Canaria, and it wasn't 17 Celsius. It was 26. So, Teletext, load of rubbish. Let's see. Lucy, my name, Long Sam Smith, is brewed in Long Sam Smith is brewed in Tadcaster near York. There are several Sam Smith's pubs in York. Oh, I don't know that. Well, I've never been there. Wells 32, travel agent costs too much. It probably cost the same price, but then they had all their commission onto it, don't they? They had their agency's fee, so that's why it's too much. And also, sometimes some of those bloody travel agents, especially when you change your mind, you can try and pull a fast one on you. Like I said a moment ago, travel agent, estate agent, any sort of agent. I wouldn't trust anyone who's got the word agent in the title. Mickey B, online all day long these days, Ed. Not exactly. I couldn't do that. Ian Bowden, Eddie, you seem to be a late night person. Do you get up late when traveling? Yes, yeah. I do. It causes havoc for the for the hotel maids. How many times I've been in bed in a hotel somewhere, and come 11 o'clock, the bloody hotel maids are banging on the door. Saying, no, you'll come back, and then half an hour later they're coming back again. No, I'm still in bed now. It causes. I remember there was one. I was staying in a hotel in Germany once, and I was staying. I can't remember which town. It might have been Frankfurt or somewhere like that. and the actual hotel maid was actually a guy. He was well, he was an ethnic minority guy. Let me say, let me just say that much. He had a bit of a chip on his shoulder as well. The number of days, he'd knock on my door. You clean the room and all that. And I'd say, no, I'm still in bed. Come back later. And there was one day he didn't even knock on the door. I was actually on the bog having a number two. And he actually barged into the hotel room. And I said, for Christ's sake, I'm bloody on the bog, mate. You could at least have knocked. Oh, I have to go home early. I go home early. I go home early. I need a clean room. Jesus Christ. Yes, it's run-ins with hotel staff that I have over there. Let's see. Carl Shields, travel agents are good for a pay monthly option. Okay, fine. Okay, so let me see. Where are we now? Alf Garnett. I was out in Bulgaria, Sunny Beach last month. There's so many fit flange and some bars, 97 pence, a large beer. Bulgarian beers are beautiful. I never made it to Sunny Beach. I went to Varna in the Black Sea coast, but it was raining, so I missed out on all of that. But Bulgarian beers are beautiful. Oh, lovely stuff. Okay, so anyway, ATMR benefit. What's a travel check? You're really going back a bit there. Anyway, I've been on for 2 hours and 12 minutes. We've talked about some good stuff here. We've had thank you to Trevor J and the other guy for those questions anyway. So does anyone still use a travel agent? I think the consensus is no, but there are still a few people. Let's see. David Coleman. I do have a travel agent. I do not mind paying a bit more. She arranges everything for me. Pick up at the airport, hotel. She's cool. She knows at the hotels. I wish I had a travel agent like that. That sounds bloody good. Good for you, mate. Anyway, see, there are advantages to use the travel. You will pay more, but there are just some sort of probably holidays or multi destination holidays that you may just find too complicated to be doing on your own on the internet. Not everyone is internet savvy. Some people still get confused with the internet. I still have friends who just couldn't do the internet on their own simply because they're old school and they haven't grown up with it, and they're not used to it. So good for you anyway, David. Kicks TV, all booked up. 2 weeks, we'll be back in Disneyland for adults. Okay, good for you. Just don't take Minnie Mouse with you. Oh. Lawrence Wells, in the very early days of the internet, I used to use my bank account to book flights. I used to get 7% of any flight with travel agent price. That's good anyway. Carl's Thailand, did he still have Fuller's Ales in London? Used to love ESB. I love that London Pride. I think that in Fuller's Ale, well, I don't live in London, but I'm sure Fuller's Ales are still around. You used to get that London Pride in that pub in the Queen Vic in Soy 6. I don't know if you still get it, London Pride, lovely stuff. I don't know if that's Fuller's, but yeah, Fuller's Ales are still around. What's the Asian party? That sounds like me. The hotel doesn't have a do not disturb sign available. I'm in trouble. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Andrew Graham. Hi, Ed. How much have you paid for your flight to Bangkok? Is what is that 1,000? What is that? Is that £1,300 too much for a return? Well, I paid £770 return for my flight from London to Bangkok with a very reputable airline, and I'm more than happy with that. 770. That includes the insurance as well in case it cancels. So I'm more than happy with that. I'd say that probably is too much if you're going from London. David Coleman, my travel agent is really fit. Amazing you said that. Okay. It's Stephen O'Connor. He's in Phnom Penh right now. Lives in Phnom Penh. He's a teacher. He's a teacher in Phnom Penh. More than that, sadly after COVID, lady drinks have gone up to $3 to $5 now. Yes, all bars in Phnom Penh are open, but a bit more expensive. I have heard something like that. Yeah, all bars in Phnom Penh are open, but a bit more expensive. Well, and also Cambodia. You're paying dollars there. So for us Brits, it will cost us more money. It will cost us a fair bit more money. Okay, if you want to enjoy yourself. But thanks for the info anyway, Stephen. Really, really appreciate that. To be honest with you, I'd still like to be in. I'd still like to be there right now, to be honest with you, rather than here. But hopefully, when all these lovely ladies see me and this winter time, I'll be so much leaner because I'm on my exercise regime, and I'm very, very pleased about the weight. I know drinking this beer, I don't actually look like someone who's on a strict exercise regime, but I mean that's if I can be a few stone lighter by the time I get out to Southeast Asia this winter time, I'll be happy. But all bars in Phnom Penh are open, but a bit more expensive. Oh well. We'll see. I'm sure it's worth a visit. Anyway, nice to hear from you, Steve. Nice to hear from you. David Heisenberg, Eddie, are you going to try Brewmeister Snake Venom? 330 milliliter, but you need a tumble glass to drink it, as it is 67.5 volume and 40 quid a bottle, as I saw on YouTube. I'd give it a go. But I think that's a bit out of my price range, unfortunately. Does it? I said to a travel agent, "You remind me of my big toe." She said, "Why?" Because I'm going to bang you on my coffee table. Oh God, you God Almighty! Kicks. No, Eddie, I will busy have a Donald Duck, aka Dirty Dozen, one-way ticket too. Good for you. Oh, good old Dirty Dozen. Carl's Thailand. Yeah, Pride is fullers. Okay, fine, lovely. London Pride's lovely. I am tilt. Went into a travel agency a few years ago, asked about flights to the Philippines, and they started to laugh. I do with the old girls. Where did the old girls? I tell you so. The very, very first time I went to Thailand, about 20 odd years ago, I did actually book my flight because I wasn't on the internet then. I booked it in the travel agents, and I just booked the flight in the hotel. They booked the hotel in Bangkok for me, and I think they booked the one in Pattaya as well for me. But they were really, really good girls. I didn't actually, know too much about travel then, and they booked the flight with Kuwait Airlines to Thailand, and I'd never ever been anywhere like that before. And I chatted to the girls. I'm a customer. And I had a laugh and a joke with them and all that. And they gave me my tickets. They sorted some currency out for me, and they gave me my tickets, all that. And I think this was just about a week before I was due to eventually fly out to Thailand. And so I thanked them for the tickets and everything. I said, okay, all right, cheers, girls. So I'll see you sometime when I get back, and I'll tell you all about it. And as I was going out of the door of the travel agencies, one of the young girls in the travel agent said to me, "Have a nice time, Mr. Sweeney." "I'm sure you will." Yeah, absolutely. So when you say that, mate, they start to laugh. Yeah, that's it. Oh well, that's English women. That's English. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. Okay. Let's see now. Scaffolded John, Fuller's Brewery in West London. Yeah, I think, am I right in saying that? If you get a coach into London, you can actually see the Fuller's Brewery from the dual carriageway. Carl Shields, I paid 449 quid for a return flight in November with KLM going there and France Air going back, both owned by the same company. That sounds very, very good. Very, very good. That sounds brilliant. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Jay, Ed, is it true about the October the 1st deadline to return your 20 and £50 notes or they expire? You're talking about England now. I have heard something like that. I mean, if I was you, I'd get them in. I would have got them in long ago anyway. If they're the old stuff, I would have got them in long ago. But I think the bank will still accept. Well, I think, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I'd get them in. I'd get them there tomorrow. Definitely get them to the bank tomorrow. Capo, travel agents always have the time from the freebie hole to promote their resorts. Okay. David Heisenberg, Sunny Beach is a 24/7 place full of life as it was there for a week and had all kinds of entertainment there. I loved it. I missed out on that place, funnily enough. So let's just have a little teensy weensy look. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up now. We've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Well, thanks for the guys who gave me a couple of good questions. Trevor J and the other guy, can't remember his name. But yeah, we've had a good little couple of hours chat anyway in the world of travel. I've got about 6 weeks to go before I head out to Thailand. I can't wait. I think things are looking good, but there's things happening in the world that you have to be worried about. But que sera, whatever will be, will be. Don't let it stop you living your life. Whatever's happening in the economy or in the brutal world out, brutal conflicts that are going on in the world, don't let it stop you living your life. You only live once, okay? So, Carl's Thailand, nice to hear from you, mate. Thailand, good night and good. Okay, have a good time today. Have a good day anyway, Carl. Thanks to Ginger Joe, Bottle Baby. Okay. Capo 17. Yogi Bear, cheers for the stream, and we'll catch you on Saturday on the other side. Yeah. Don't forget the Steady Eddie live channel. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, 10 p.m. We talk about all kinds of things. Okay. Great little community. I am Tilt. Good night. Good night to you. Martin Blunsden, cheers, Ed. Yoz Travels, cheers, mate. Cheers. Okay, Dazza, good night and God bless you all. Okay, so on that note, I'll say good night. Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you Saturday night, 10 o'clock on Steady Eddie Live. Take care, guys. See you soon. Cheers.